The man is, my mom was underage when she was doing this. Anyone would have been older.
15 and 22. Damn.
That's crazy.
Now I can kind of see why he's probably not claiming it, because it looks bad on his reputation, because he has a history. Like, if you look at, like, even Beyonce, like, he was in his 30s and Beyonce was barely 19.
Big one was Beyonce. When he signed that contract, the marriage contract, he got trophies.
Rymir Satterthwaite, Jay-Z's purported son, just won another battle after 50 Cent formally pledged to assist him in suing Jay. Additionally, this occurs only a few days after a judge approved Rymir's motion to proceed with his case. Jay is currently in a panic, and he made this strange accusation that Rymir had been bothering him for years. Furthermore, Jay's legal team is threatening to use the judicial system to reveal Rymir's lies. Thus, except for taking the DNA test that may put an end to this situation right away, Jay is essentially doing everything else. But here it gets dark. We now know that Jay has been evading the test due to the age of Rymir's mother at the time of his birth. Rymir claims that when his mother Wanda became pregnant by 22-year-old Jay-Z, she was not a legal adult.
How old was she when you were born? And everything saying that they had met. Now, how old was Jay-Z at the time?
22.
What exactly is Jay-Z concealing then? As you are all likely aware, Jay narrowly avoided falling out with his friend Diddy after one of Diddy's accusers said that at the age of 13, Jay and Diddy had assaulted her. Although the woman who made the accusation eventually consented to withdraw the case, it appears that the matter is still ongoing. In fact, she recently came forward and stated that she never recanted her initial charges against Diddy and Jay. And she says the only reason she dropped the lawsuit was because Jay allegedly sent private investigators to intimidate her. Here's what is really dubious, though. This new development was mostly ignored by the media. As you're already aware, websites you can also visit and observe for yourself. Look up the Rymir story on their websites right now. Nothing will be found.
For documents submitted on June 16th, Jay-Z plans a recent lawsuit that Rymir and Lily filed against him as just the latest in what he says has been decades-long harassment. The documents read, "The fabricated allegations and claims have been addressed."
However, it is rather strange that Jay is spending so much money on legal proceedings when a simple DNA test would release him. And Rymir has the advantage this time. It is not looking good for Jay either, with all the receipts coming out and 50 Cent supporting Rymir.
Father, I really do. And if it's not, why you can't prove me wrong? Like, it's not as far as the proving me wrong thing. It's go to the courtroom and basically do what everybody else would have had to do. Like, it's not, you don't have to prove me wrong. I just want the truth. Honestly, I can take a no. I can take, if I'm embarrassed at the end of the day, I can take that. I really can. I've been through a lot. Gained a lot. I could take me being embarrassed. Like, this can't take nobody not saying nothing. You know, it's not fair.
Okay, let us start by discussing 50 Cent's involvement in this. In order to become involved in the conflict between Jay-Z and his purported son Rymir, 50 first made fun of Jay on Instagram by pointing out that the two of them have the same nose. That is not all, though. 50 Cent is increasingly going further. According to people familiar with the matter, 50 Cent has reached out directly to Rymir and offered the support of his lawyers. Additionally, 50 shared this mysterious statement on Instagram. "A good lawyer knows the law. A great lawyer knows the judge." This now makes all the difference. So far, mainstream media outlets have entirely ignored and buried Rymir's case. However, Jay's team is now on the defensive since 50 was mentioned, and they are working quickly to end the lawsuit and discredit Rymir before it becomes widely known. In fact, Jay recently submitted fresh court filings, pleading with the judge to reject Rymir's argument. According to documents obtained by US Weekly, Jay said that Rymir's lawsuit is just the latest in his decades-long harassment. Jay's filing says the fabricated allegations and claims have been addressed and rejected in multiple other courts, and Rymir's continued harassment of Jay-Z and disregard of those orders has already resulted in a contempt order. However, Jay-Z has now come under assault from Rymir's former legal guardian, Dr. Lily Coley, a paralegal, who says Jay's most recent court file contains some obvious lies. In her remarks, Dr. Coley stated, "This story was not fabricated. Wanda's affidavit has been on the court record for years and has never been withdrawn. Her account was the basis of Rymir's understanding of his paternity." Dr. Coley also stated that Jay-Z lied about Rymir being held in contempt of court. According to Dr. Coley, no individual involved in the case, including Rymir, his late mother Wanda, or herself, has ever been held in contempt of court. She did clarify, however, that the issue of Rymir's paternity has never been entirely resolved in court. Dr. Coley wrote, "There has never been a discovery, hearing, or final ruling that resolves the paternity or other issues. These facts continue to be overlooked in public narratives." However, the age of Rymir's late mother Wanda at the time of Jay's alleged pregnancy is another detail that is often left out of public narratives. Let us first review some facts. The public first learned about Rymir in early 2015 when news outlets revealed that he had sued Jay-Z for paternity. Rymir and Lily Coley, his guardian, made their initial complaint back in 2014, and this was the beginning of the strange legal proceedings. This complaint was immediately closed, and that is because Jay-Z and his attorney Lisa Fisher allegedly presented incorrect and misleading facts in court, according to Dr. Coley. Rymir, however, continued to fight. Additionally, he filed further court proceedings in 2018, accusing Jay of evading a paternity test by utilizing his wealth and notoriety. However, this is the point at which things become dubious. According to reports, the judge was informed that Rymir's real father had already been verified, which is why he kept getting shut down. But guess what happened when Rymir received a copy of his birth certificate? No father is mentioned at all. However, there was a further twist when Rymir learned that some of his own attorneys were surreptitiously collaborating behind the scenes with Jay-Z's attorneys. Speaking with The Sun in an interview, Rymir said he was denied the right to have a fair hearing in court because of legal mistakes and malpractice. Rymir also told The Sun that his mom Wanda first told him Jay-Z was his father when he was about 8 years old. Wanda also claims that she and Jay had an affair at his aunt's Brooklyn Projects apartment in 1992. They used protection, but it did not work. She added she lost contact with Jay and never saw him again after that. Unfortunately, Wanda's health deteriorated by 2010. At that point, custody of Rymir was given to Lily Coley. At the time, Lily also talked to The Sun and stated that Wanda got pregnant shortly after meeting Jay when she was just 15 or 16 years old. And it gets even wilder. In 2018, Rymir filed a complaint in Philadelphia alleging that Jay's lawyer forced Wanda to sign legal documents while she was in hospital recovering from a medicated coma, which replaced Lily's name on the petition without consent and for nefarious reasons. Rymir's family claimed they had never witnessed such a degree of corruption or experienced such anguish before, and that action resulted in the case being dismissed from the Philadelphia court. However, when Rymir and Dr. Coley appeared on Hip Hop News Uncensored and disclosed that Rymir was shot following the filing of his lawsuit against Jay-Z, things even became more grim.
He was shot at. Somewhere in September, he was in the parking lot with other people, near where he's at living now, and out of all the cars there, his was the only one shot up. So we believe that that was a nexus or connection, I believe, between the case and what's going on because it was around the time.
And here's the thing. Lily claims that around the time Rymir filed his complaint, strangers began knocking on her home in an attempt to intimidate her into remaining silent.
In addition to that, we've had people come to my home in the past, driving on the grass. We have people knocking on the door at 4 o'clock in the morning. We've been through all of it, mostly around the filing time.
Lily went on to say that this lawsuit is about more than just Jay-Z. It is about advocating for reform and new legislation that stops the wealthy and influential from abusing the legal system.
The bigger picture than that. We want to try to make a difference with Pro Se Act or the Legal Abuse Act, bringing new legislation and trying to sit down at the table with the lawmakers to make a difference. In addition to the fact, because, like we said before, Mr. Carter might not never do anything, and I'm sure he probably won't. But it ain't about him. This is about the system. The system allowing things to happen that will and put our lives at stake. in some regard. So I just wanted to say that was another reason why we were still going to the criminal stuff for the second time. This time the prosecutor's office locally did get involved. But everything is slow moving and things are happening and, it's corruption going on. The law says in New Jersey that if the person who refuses to take the test is presumed the father. How about that? Here in New Jersey, anybody who don't want to do it and go away from doing it or prevents from doing it is presumed the father. So right now, he's presumed the father. He's not even alive.
Meanwhile, Rymir filed a new lawsuit, this time against the New Jersey court system and several judges, accusing them of conspiring with Jay-Z for over a decade to get his cases thrown out. In this case, Rymir and Dr. Coley claimed that Jay-Z lied under oath by saying he didn't own any property in New Jersey, and he allegedly did this to make the court believe it had no jurisdiction over him. However, Rymir's team found property deeds and tax records with Jay's name on them to prove that wasn't true. Additionally, Rymir's complaint mentions 6 different judges who he claims conspired with Sean Carter and kept falsely claiming he didn't own property in New Jersey. Rymir's filing claims that Jay-Z manipulated the legal system.
I'm not a lawyer. They try to use all types of things. I shoot the Connie, all type of things to say, whoever was on the pitch, if that was good, that was the bad. We flying too quick, so we did everything we had to do to, show them that wasn't. Pops, the person I was calling my pops took the DNA test, straight out there. And the other name was Jay-Z. He basically saw it and the dad, who they try to use all this craziness to hold the case up, and I'm like, well, man, this is anybody else. I'm like, how did you face to?
They would have ordered them by now. They do that. It's not, yeah, like hey, take the test. Hell, in most cases, you can start drawing child support. But whatever goddamn fraternity, it makes them come.
His father.
If it was anything, if y'all felt like we was lying, why you ain't just use the case for prejudice? Why do y'all keep having a ton of years file and pay all this money and keep filing for years? Why? Y'all didn't see anything wrong with the case. Why is it not over? The only thing I'm asking is, I want no money from you. If you don't have that relationship, if it was true, I'm just showing you, I'm just showing you that I'm fighting for what I believe in is right. And I want all the kids and everyone to come behind me. You listen to parents, it's all about, sometimes this fuck me, and the parents says you don't need nothing from me until the book. It just help me, go on with my life and just be straight. It's not like I'm looking for anything, looking for you to bring me up where you at or bring me with your family and all. I still got my own family, but I just want you to be like, just think about it. Like, we could have been got this, over with and do English. I still respect you, even though I might not like you. I respect everybody.
I was gonna say, how do you view him now?
When I say I don't like you, it's like not even with that. I feel like, y'all sit at the top, forgot where y'all came from. Sometimes you gotta bring yourself down to the bottom. You can't sit at the top and think, I'm rich and all that. And if I go to court, this would affect this. And sometimes you just gotta get it over with. You believe this wasn't true, it would have been over with, And for you to let me just sit and have to listen to my own things to it. And I'm not saying you physically, but dragging us to court and all that, not taking care of the problem. You let it, man. So I was like, because men got this over with. If it wasn't true, we could have, I would apologize. I apologize in front of the world. Could have been done.
However, there is another new release. Everyone, it appears that Jay-Z's refusal to have that DNA test may have more to do with Rymir's mother's young age. The true cause might be something far more sinister.
Jay-Z allegedly won't give up his DNA to prove that he is not the father of Rymir Carter, who is claiming that he is his son, because giving up his DNA could link him to a bunch of murders that he is connected to. The permanent A-list rapper could just provide a DNA sample and get the whole paternity thing out of the way. But then the sample could be used to solve a whole bunch of killings that the rapper has been hinted at being involved in. And again, it's allegedly Jay-Z and Rymir Carter.